A reminder of matches and the results in the UEFA Champions League today. Napoli 4-1 over Liverpool, Ajax 4-0 over Rangers, Atletico Madrid winning 2-1 over Porto, Club Brugge 1-0 over Bayern Leverkusen, Victoria Pleasant beaten 5-1 by Barcelona, Bayern Munich 2-0 over Inter, and Tottenham 2-0 over Marseille, and Eintracht Frankfurt beaten at home 3-0 by Sporting. Well, Group C has been dubbed the Group of Death, increasing the significance of the teams getting off to a good start. Barcelona and Bayern Munich definitely did that. Barcelona spanking Victoria Pleasant and Bayern getting the better of Milan. Let's first get highlights from Barcelona versus Pleasant.
In by Dembele. And Barca make the breakthrough. Ahead of him. And here is Robert Lewandowski. Sergio Roberto. Lewandowski. Oh, magnificent from Robert Lewandowski. Pedri. Lewandowski, it's back with Pedri. It's a magnificent goal line clearance to keep Barca out. They might be able to create something here with Jamalka, and they pulled the goal back. Dembele looking to torment Jamalka again, and still he goes on. Fullback eventually helped out by Mosquera, but it was a strong challenge by Dembele. Goalkeeper out of position, and Barca get their third. Jordi Alba. Here's Lewandowski. That's the hat-trick. In again, and scoring again. Well, what a start by Barcelona in this season's Champions League. Simply too strong for Victoria Pilsen.
34 years old and still as hot as ever, Robert Lewandowski. Let's now relive the action from the Bayern Munich-Milan encounter.
Interesting to see how Henrik Mkhitaryan gets on in midfield. Manchester United, Arsenal, Roma. For the Armenian, and here is Martinez. Players operating in pairs. Nicely done by Davis, in by Sane and Muller. Brozovic trying to make some progress. He's a strong man, Ruben Gosens. And coming in is Dumfries. And we've seen him do that before for club and for country. Here's Sane, we've seen plenty of him. And Muller! Inter is sort of soaking up the pressure easily. And here's one that's going to lead to the opening goal, surely, for Sane.
What a goal. They've been the more progressive, they've been the more likely. And that's a brilliant individual goal, that, from Leroy Sane.
Dzeko behind him. Dzeko going in for it. Oh, here comes Davis with a chance on his weaker foot, pushed out. Muller! Oh, and in the end it's hammered wide. Sane, nicely worked. Brilliantly worked. Sane, can he squeeze it in?
Oh, what a goal.
It's ended up in the net. Scintillating football from Bayern Munich.
Very prominent here. I mean, that is brilliant interplay. That is top class. That really is.
They're almost there, Bayern. Is extraordinary, this opening game record in the Champions League group stage of winning. 20 years since they failed to do that. They've added another notch on that belt against Inzaghi's Inter.
Yes, Sane looking very, very impressive there. Sane left out of Germany's team for the Russia World Cup in 2018 by Joachim Löw, and looking to set his stalls out here for a World Cup spot in Qatar. Nick Blackman still with us. We're also joined by our European football correspondent, Simon Evans. Simon, can we start with Bayern and the performance they put down today?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it, seeing Lewandowski move leagues, move clubs, you know, set himself up in a completely new team, and it's the same Lewandowski we got used to seeing for so many years for Bayern, finishing impressive, but Pedri also looking really sharp. You know, they're coming together, Barcelona. They've had a difficult few years, but you just feel with Lewandowski that is a signing that can, in this competition at least, really give them an edge and give them a chance of at least creating the kind of excitement they got used to seeing for so many years.
Yeah, and if you looked at the roster today, Simon, obvious that Barca didn't start their A team, but they were fluent and they looked immaculate almost.
Yeah, I mean, Pilsen are one of the teams that you can look at and say they're pretty sure to get the wooden spoon, so it's a game they would have been expecting to win. But yeah, there's a bit of depth in that squad now. The midfield looks like a Barcelona midfield, and I think, you know, in attack they've now got some options, and it's coming together. It's coming together for Barcelona. I'm not going to come and say they're going to go all the way in the Champions League or anything like that, but they're going to be certainly much better than what we've seen for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
I'm going to bring Nick into this discussion now. Simon says that it's coming together for Barcelona. He wouldn't say that, you know, they can go all the way. What did you make of this Barcelona today? They look a bit like the Barcelona that many teams would have fed before.
Yes, most definitely this evening, as Simon has just touched on there. Lewandowski is like fine wine. He's just getting better and better with age, and within netting a hat-trick and playing full of confidence. You've got Dembele on the wing, causing absolute menace with his pace. I think they're a very strong shout for this year's Champions League.
What did you make of the chemistry between the Barcelona players? Because for some time, for too long, we were discussing, you know, there seemed to be a lot of off-the-field issues seeping onto the field. Today we saw Barcelona that looked as if they were full of momentum and the chemistry seemed to be clicking.
Yes, since Xavi's taken over the job, he's really galvanised the squad. They've really become close together. You can see the team chemistry. They're all fighting for each other on the pitch. And I also think that's a lot to do with the personalities he's recruited. They're great in the dressing room, and that's obviously now showing on the pitch.
Yeah, Simon, one more on Lewandowski. There's a note that our producer has just put up. The first player to score a Champions League hat-trick for 3 different teams. We will remember the first one was actually not a hat-trick. It was 4 against Real Madrid. I'm replaying all 4 goals in my mind. That's one of the most astonishing individual performances I've ever seen in a Champions League game. And this man, Lance and I were saying, and Mariah, that it's as if he has something to prove. And he would have been stung by the plaudits that Haaland has been getting. We all know that he left Bayern Munich because of the pursuit by the Bayern bosses of Erling Haaland while he was still there. They were going to replace him with Haaland. He was upset by that and he wanted out. He would also be stung by the praise that Mbappe has been getting, almost as if it is those 2 young men who are running the roost where striking is concerned. And you feel that today's performance, Simon, and since he has been at Barcelona, has just been to advertise to the world that he is still the man.
Yeah, I think there must be something inside him as well that, you know, Bayern Munich, although they are the top dogs in Germany, they don't have that same profile and glamour and excitement about them that a club like Barcelona has, or a Manchester United has, or a Liverpool. And I think this move gives him a chance late in his career to really cement his legacy in the game, because he's not going to go down. If he has a couple of fantastic seasons for Barca in La Liga and in the Champions League, he won't be remembered just as the guy who scored a lot of goals for Poland and Bayern Munich. He'll be much more than that, and I think it's a smart move for him. And I tell you what, though, he's going to have to be prolific to keep up with Erling Haaland this season, though.
Absolutely right, and that's something that football fans want to see. The Inter Bayern Munich game, rather tame from Inter, Simon. And yes, they were missing Lukaku, who would have made a huge difference to their forward thrust. But in the end, Bayern didn't have to really engage too many gears to put Inter away on their home patch.
No, and I think there were some really impressive things from Bayern in that game, and particularly what's going on up front with Sane seems to have come alive. You know, obviously left Manchester City, went back to Bayern, had some difficulties settling in there as well. But the arrival of Mane seems to have brought out the best of him. And, you know, to have Mane and Sane and Muller, that's a pretty impressive front three there. And I think they can do some damage to some teams. And I think they were, you know, looking at that inter-defence, there isn't a huge amount of pace there. And I think they were just too much. And really a 2-0 result, I thought, looking at the sides before the game, it could have been a worse result than that for Inter. So Bayern showing what they're made of, and Inter, you know, they're not quite there to be competing at that level yet.
Yeah, and Nick, when we talk about intelligent footballers, of course, many people will rightly praise Thomas Muller, but somebody who doesn't get a lot of the plaudits that they deserve, Joshua Kimmich in that engine house, that midfield for the Bayern Munich team, Nick. Again today, he was quietly very, very efficient. He has a huge brain for a footballer.
Yes, as you said, he goes quietly about his business. He's been there for many years, and he's also learned from the best. When Bayern Munich were absolutely flying, as he's been the difference in the generations, and he's now taken the new team to new heights, obviously. And he's the steady Eddie there in the team, and he doesn't do anything too fancy. He just keeps them ticking over nicely, and I think that's the most important thing. They're a really well-oiled engine, Bayern Munich, and he is the definition of that.
Yeah, Joshua Kimmich there getting some of his flowers. And another man from Bayern Munich that we need to talk about, Simon, is Kingsley Coman, because this young man has had a tremendous career since he burst on the scene at PSG. He has perhaps every trophy and multiples of every trophy in his cabinet, still playing strong, and you suspect that if he maintains his form, he'll be one of the sure picks in the French national squad for this World Cup in Qatar in November.
Yeah, certainly be in contention for the squad, you would imagine. Whether it's the starting 11, that's another question. But yeah, he's a player who's impressed wherever he's been. And again, this side, there's a lot, you know, there's a lot of attacking flair there. You know, you've got Alphonso Davies as well, the Canadian on the other side. So there's a lot of pace and a lot of skill in attack in this Bayern side. And I think when they really get into their stride this season, they could be playing a really much more attractive and better style of football than we've been impressed by just winning and winning and winning and winning. But they could be a really, really entertaining side to watch this season.
One last thing before we go, Nick, I want to put this one to you. When I look at the top teams we've seen so far in this Champions League, they have something in reserve. They have something more to come from the bench. When I look at Bayern, though, the starting 11 is awesome. But do they, you think, have enough off the bench to rival the very, very best teams in the competition this season?
I'm not quite sure if you look at that when you look at the bench. You have obviously your Leroy Sané's, your Mane's, and your Thomas Muller's up front, and they're very, very strong and they're very attacking with the pace that they have, and they don't quite have that. There's a lot of young players and a lot of inexperienced players who are on the bench, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them to stay with the very top teams when it comes to the latter stages. Obviously, losing Lewandowski is a big, big blow to them. Sané was absolutely fantastic tonight, and I really hope, and obviously they will be hoping, that they don't get any injuries or any serious injuries that will later on go on to tell that.
Yeah, definitely don't want any injuries at this point in time. Nick, I want to thank you so much. And of course, Simon, you don't go anywhere because we have some business to discuss where Thomas Tuchel is concerned. Well, still,
okay.
Yeah, still to come on the SportsMax Zone CPL, just the facts and interactive. But next, we discuss Thomas Tuchel's sacking as Chelsea manager. Simon Evans will be back with us as we talk about Tuchel's likely replacement.